I'm curious where, you know, you're one of the younger guys on a really veteran group of offensive linemen. How have they helped you grow this season? Over the summer too, but and through fall camp and through the first 8 games of the season. How have they, I guess, what have you learned from them?
I mean, yeah, definitely it just comes down to communication. I mean, just from me getting in there, jumping in with reps with them and stuff, it's definitely a different feeling and like expectation than being like running with twos or something like that. So like, just like communication, if it for sure, and then like bringing me along. I mean, they always like communicate very well with what is expected and what goes on. So it's been a big help.
Where do you think you've improved the most as a player through the first 8 games of the season?
It's a little hard question to answer. I would say just like poise of being comfortable in there. I mean, for sure, like when I first got my first couple snaps against Middle Tennessee late in the game, I mean, it was definitely like jitters going in there and butterflies. But once I got in, it was kind of just like practice, honestly, and I just kind of calmed down. It's kind of seemed to like go like that ever since I've got more playing time, so it's been good.
Over the past couple weeks, a lot of offensive linemen have come in here and especially before the Syracuse game, talking about a concerted effort to run the ball. You guys did it against Syracuse. You guys did it again on Saturday against Georgia Tech. When you guys can run the ball the way you have, how much confidence does it give you as an offensive lineman up front, knowing that you are one of the guys, creating those holes?
Oh, a ton. I mean, that's our number one goal is when we can run the ball, we can open up so many opportunities for the rest of the offense and the passing game and stuff too. So it's a huge factor that goes into it. I mean, and that's what honestly pushes us forward and is the running the ball. So
What have you noticed about Boston College's defensive line so far from film?
they're a hard nosed team. They're well coached for sure, and it'll be a challenge definitely more so than they're kind of like coached the same way we are. I mean, hard nosed, down to earth. I mean, they're gonna get after it the way we do. So that's like the number one thing difference.
Parker, just tilt that hat back. Just
I
a
got
hair.
you. My fault. I can take it off for you. It's all good.
Parker, what was the key to success to being able to run the ball so well, you think, on Saturday?
Um, I mean, just like stay together, and we big emphasis on staying together. A big emphasis on communication still again. And that was like just a key thing we talked about all week and focus in practice is running the ball. I mean, like I said, to open up opportunities elsewhere, and that's what we did. So it just came down to that.
Jordan Williams is wearing a Brotherhood VT sweatshirt. I know Coach Fu has talked about that in the past and used it this past weekend with not taking a step backwards, but using a Brotherhood as a program. So can you talk about what that means to you and the team?
Yeah, like he said, I mean, I was sitting back there listening to him too. I mean, it comes down to trust. I mean, I got to trust the guy next to me. A lot of times I'm next to Caden Moore, Johnny Jordan. So I got to trust those guys and double teams and communication, like communicating edges. I mean, it comes down to like trusting your brother beside you. I mean, especially at the O-line position, you got to trust everybody. If all the gears aren't working, then it's going to be a buzz. You got to have everybody doing the same thing, the right job at the same time for success.
All right, we got a couple out on Zoom. David Teal.
Parker, David was asking you about the running game and its recent resurgence. What has Malachi Thomas brought to that component of the offense? And did you see this coming in practice week after week after week as he progressed?
Actually, it came. I mean, to me, as more of a surprise. I mean, he is a really explosive guy. I mean, especially since he's been playing, I've noticed a lot more. I mean, just he gives an explosion that I think has been a big factor for us and has been boosted us for sure. Getting downhill, running the dots. I mean, that's number one goal is running right down the dots for us, and if we can do that, I mean, that's what we need to do.
And is that what happened? There was a play there on your last field goal drive there in the fourth quarter. I think it was like a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 3. And you guys simply just lined up and gave him the ball, and he leaned forward and got the first down, and you were able to sustain the drive. Is that exactly what you're talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And especially in the fourth quarter against Georgia Tech, and we were grooving as offense. We got in a groove, and I mean that's the goal. I mean we can get in grooves and we can get in a momentum and stuff. I mean, yeah. I mean that's just what we're looking for, and we need to try to like keep that going from week to week, from drive to drive, every play. So.
All right, Aaron.
Hey, Parker, I think you heard Jordan talking about the defensive side of the ball and how, you adjust given how the game is called. I think you've only been called for one penalty all season, personally. How do how prepared are you coming into the game for how a game will be called, and then how do you adjust your game accordingly throughout the game?
Well, like I said, I mean, going into the game, we got a pretty good game plan. We know like what plays and like majority of like what kind of plays are going to be called. As far as like penalties go, I know I had that holding call on against Georgia Tech, which personally I don't really agree with, but no, I mean just adjusting and moving into the game. I mean, I know we had a couple false starts on the O-line, and that's just something that we got to like settle down with. I know there was a couple like really quickly, and something we got to like settle down for sure and keep our composure in there. So.
Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, Parker.
Good?
Yep.
Thank you.